Anchor is a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it's 100% free and extremely easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors who want to advertise on your podcast. That means you can get paid to podcast right away. To get started, go to anchor.fm/start. Once again, that's anchor.fm/start. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Jay Stevens Podcast. This is episode 4, and the NBA Finals are in full swing. That is not my impersonation of a soccer commentator when they're announcing that someone has scored a goal, but that may just be how excited I am that the NBA Finals are finally here. After 2 long months of Eastern and Western Conference battles to get to this point, we're finally almost to the end. The part where everyone wants to be, we're finally there. And it brings so much joy and it brings a smile on my face that the NBA Finals are here. We can see 2 of the best teams in the NBA compete to win the NBA Finals. Before we get too deep into the NBA Finals, and I'll recap of Game 1, I want to take this time to let the people in Pendleton, Indiana, and also the Dayton, Ohio area, as I know people outside of Dayton got hit as well, different communities over there, got hit by the dangerous tornado that hit them Monday evening. Monday evening, I had no idea that inclement weather was coming to the area. I live on the west side of Indianapolis. I'm about 45 minutes or so, maybe a little bit longer, from Pendleton, probably close to an hour. So I'm fairly close. I'm fairly close to know people that live in those areas, but had no idea that anything was coming. So I didn't think to check in with anyone, text my friends to see how they were doing. I just thought, hey man, let's go to sleep. So I went to sleep a little bit earlier. I was tired. Woke up the next day, got roughly 10 hours of sleep, which is amazing. That rarely happens. Woke up the next day and I saw on my phone I had more alerts from my Weather Channel app than normal. Tornadoes hit, ripped up trees, damaged homes, scared children, scared families. All of the things that come with the tornado, all the things that may come with a disaster like inclement weather, those are the things that hit and that happened Monday evening. Like I said, I have friends in the Dayton, Ohio area and also in the Pendleton, Indiana area. So it kind of hit me a little bit different Tuesday morning when I woke up and saw the tragedy that happened. I know in Pendleton they closed schools down on, I believe they closed all schools on Tuesday and Wednesday. The end of the school year, a lot of the younger kids have their end of the school programs and field days, things of that nature. Those people in middle school and high school, you got finals. If you don't have finals, you're basically just relaxing and spending time with your friends in a classroom for 7 to 8 hours. But school was closed because literally the buses could not drive through the town to pick up the students to get them to the schools. That's how crazy and that's how tragic this tornado was. I know in both communities, the communities that come together, and they are prepared to help in any way they can to help restore the homes, the individuals that may have been injured throughout the tornado, and different things like that are needed to bring the community back to what it is and make it to be, let's just say, stronger than what it was. Like I said, those of you in those areas, Dayton, Ohio area, Pendleton, Indiana area, if any of you are listening to this podcast, you and your families and my friends, of course, are in my thoughts and prayers. Let's take a trip to Toronto, a place that a lot of us here in the States have never been. We've heard good things about it, heard it's a beautiful place to go, but they got something brewing up there, and Jurassic Park is, I would say, it's not as crazy as a big-time soccer game or even a friendly match is. When it comes to the NBA and the NBA community, Jurassic Park is one of the craziest, wildest places that NBA fans can't go to watch a game and enjoy it around other fans of the same team. Game 1 was crazy. That's how I'll leave it with right now. We'll talk about that here in a second. Be aggressive. Be aggressive. Say be aggressive. Be Oops. Wrong chant. Let's change it up here right quick. Defense. 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 I forgot where I was for a second. I'm sorry. I was just reliving the chants that I would have been chanting if I was in Scotiabank Arena during Game 1. Because being aggressive and defense, those are the two things that helped the Raptors come out victorious at the end of the game. You go back to the box score, and a lot of people will do that. If they don't watch a game, they go back to a box score and see exactly what happened. Well, you look at it, see Steph had 34, Clay had 21. You would think, okay, cool, that's an okay game. Warriors do their thing. The Warriors are cool with those type of numbers. But that was an inefficient shoot. That was from inefficient shooting for both those players. They were a combined 15 for 35. That is 42.9%. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's backtrack. So two of the best shooters the league has ever seen shot 43% in Game 1 of the finals. Was it the rest that hurt him? I don't think so. Even though 9 days off is a lot of time, I don't think the rest hurt him. Was it the scheme? Did Steve Kerr, for some odd reason, say, oh, well, we're going to try to get somebody else off, and then Steph and Clay, you do your thing a little bit later on in the game? No, that wasn't it either. It was the Toronto Raptors that affected the Golden State Warriors in that way. And it wasn't just those two players. It was every player on the court. Every single player struggled. No matter if your name was Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Klay Thompson, Jordan Bell, Sean Livingston, Quinn Cook. It didn't matter who you were. Every person that touched the court for the Golden State Warriors in Game 1, they struggled. I'm not a big analytics guy, but I was looking through this and I was seeing, okay, well, what's the plus minus? I can understand plus minus. It's how positive your positive or negative effect while you're on the court. That's easy. I may not be the smartest guy at times, but I can comprehend that. Well, the best plus minus out of any starter in Game 1 for the Warriors was Jordan Bell with a -4. The worst was -10 with Klay Thompson. A great two-way player, a guy that could get you buckets and be very efficient on the offensive end and could guard the other team's best player on the defensive end. -10. What did the Warriors do that affected? No, excuse me. What did the Raptors do? Got a little tongue-tied. What did the Raptors do to the Warriors that affected them that much? They were the aggressive team. They were the aggressor. They pushed their agenda. They did not let the Warriors get into their normal sets and get comfortable. One thing the Warriors do very, very well that a lot of teams cannot get over is Draymond Green or whoever gets the offensive rebound getting it to one of your guards or sometimes Iguodala and pushing the ball up the court to get into quick offense before the opposition can get their defense set. Well, in Game 1, the Warriors, every time they tried to push the ball, they were met by opposition, generally at half court, sometimes at three-quarter court, and the Raptors would not let the Warriors get comfortable at all. Marc Gasol and pick and roll action when Steph was trying to run him off a pick and roll, run him off a pick, or use Gasol's man to pick whoever's guarding Steph at the time. Excuse me. Gasol, instead of your typical heads where you come up and you drop back really quick, he wasn't worried about the roll man. He wasn't worried about the ball handler of Steph, and he was up in Steph's grill time after time after time after time after time. And Steph had no idea what to do, but it wasn't just Steph. Anytime they tried to use Gasol's man in a pick and roll or in a pick and pop sequence, Gasol was up there. He wasn't worried about the other men. He was trying to avoid letting those shooters get into a rhythm, letting those shooters and their ball handlers get off and use their motion offense to create wide open shots for other players. Not only did Gasol affect everything, Kyle Lowry did a great job on defense Fred VanVleet did a great job on defense. The Raptors as a whole did a great job of swarming and frustrating the Warriors. Led to 17 total turnovers by the Warriors. And I'm sure throughout the game, the Warriors are thinking, okay, we'll bounce back. The third quarter is our quarter. We are known for playing well in the first half, and then the third quarter, when the home team is and their fans are still out getting snacks and getting the popcorn and getting all the beer they can before they get back to their seat, the fans aren't back yet, so the Warriors are like, man, let's start hooping. They don't have the home crowd on their side because they're still out chilling. They won't be back till the middle of the third. By the time their fans get back in their seat, we'll already have a lead back, or we'll cut that double-digit bet, or we'll cut that 15-point deficit down to cut that in half. Oh man, let's roll. Let's get this thing going. Well, the third quarter, that wasn't when they got off. That was when Pascal Siakam, he started to get off. And man, did he. He scored 14 of the first 18 points for the Raptors. In that, he even started the game 11 of 13 and hit 9 shots in a row. I mean, he was Mr. Efficient, Mr. Do-It-All. You give me the ball and just let me do my thing. That was Pascal Siakam in the third, throughout the entire game, finished with, I believe, 32 points. The guy that's in the running for most improved player of the year, if they can still vote right now, I'm sure he will get a few more votes because he's still being consistent and still playing at the high level he has played at the entire game. I do not believe that going forward in the series, the Warriors will still struggle with the Raptors and have that many turnovers game after game after game. I don't believe that. I do believe the Warriors will bounce back and win game 2 and then proceed that the Raptors and Warriors will split the next 2 games where one will win game 3. I believe the Warriors will win game 3 and then Kawhi and Raptors win game 4. And then the Warriors will ultimately send Oracle out the right way that I believe they will and win game 5 and game 6 as this being the last season in Oracle Arena. I believe that they will be able to win the championship, shut their arena down with a bang. It'd be nice as a fan, even though it'd be nice as a fan if they would wear their We Believe jerseys like they did at the last game of the regular season, the last home game of the regular season. I would be nice if they could wear those jerseys one more time to close out Oracle Arena in a game 6. Wishful thinking. I just have these crazy ideas. They did it once. They could do it again. But I do believe this series will actually come down to a few key aspects. Kawhi Leonard finding ways to be consistent. Kawhi Leonard finding ways to get to the free throw line consistently. The Raptors continuing to frustrate the Warriors on both ends of the court. The Raptors not allowing Draymond Green to be the aggressor and to push the ball, no matter if it's off of an offensive rebound or off of a made basket. Turn that into a transition opportunity. I do believe the Warriors will have to, the Raptors will have to continue to be the aggressor. This is new territory for them. Jurassic Park is wild. That's a place where I would love to watch the game and be around fans as they come together to enjoy and watch their team do something that they've never done before. I would love to be there. Love to be there at that time. I would love to take a trip to Toronto for one game during this series. Those fans. Basketball is different in Indiana. A lot of, if you have never been here before and you come to a basketball game, I think you'll feel that. But I feel that Toronto has that same feel, that same vibe, that same excitement right now. Now, granted, I am not saying, for those of you in Indiana, I am not saying that Toronto is Indiana in the same aspect where Indiana's basketball here, where they're going to be a basketball town in Toronto. I am not saying that. But I have been at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, where some turn into Bonkers Life Fieldhouse as the place gets rocking, and as recent as Paul George doing his thing in the playoffs a couple times, but playoff P, not really such thing as a playoff P. But Paul George doing his thing, and Paul George being the leader of the Pacers at that time. It was loud. Oh, definitely, it was loud. It was a fun place to be. Toronto seems like that same hype that the Pacers have here and that same enthusiasm that Hoosiers have for basketball. the Toronto fans have that as well. Toronto's not just representing themselves, representing a country. As Vancouver no longer has a team, so the Raptors are the only team in the country of Canada. The Warriors, however, I think to them it's simple. With or without KD, I'm not going to be one that says they're going to, they need KD to win. I don't believe that. I do believe with the players that they currently have, they have the formula and the roster to win this particular series and come home with another championship. I think Boogie needs more minutes. I'm not saying put Boogie back in the starting lineup because I think that frustrates the chemistry that the starting lineup already has. But I do say give Boogie some more minutes. Find ways to get Steph and Klay open. Run them off elevator screens or pin downs or whatever it may be to allow them to get more open space to create to create open shots. I do believe that's one factor that needs to happen. But I'm looking forward to an exciting series. Very physical, full of defense. One thing that I love in every sport that I watch, I love a good physical game, and I love a good physical defense. And I believe we're going to find that in this series right now. Like I said earlier, Warriors in 6. I love for my prediction to take place. But at the same time, I would love for Kawhi to get him another ring. I think that would be a great thing for him being with this being his first year in Toronto. Yes, yes, yes. That song you just heard is the Ohio State fight song. Man, I miss hearing that song every single week on game day. I can't wait for football season to come back. I can't wait to see what Justin Fields does on the football field. I'm excited for Ryan Day's first time as a head coach, a full-time head coach at the Ohio State University. You may be thinking, this guy's an Ohio State fan, I'm going to turn this thing off. Hey, I'll let you know right now. You may think Ohio State fans are rude or crude, but up until now, you had no idea I was an Ohio State fan. And if you did know I was an Ohio State fan, you were still fond of me. So don't let me, being an Ohio State fan, turn you off from what's going on right now. I will still like you no matter if you dislike my team or not. A couple weeks ago, I saw Kirk Herbstreit on Instagram put about a 2-minute video talking about how college football is less than 100 days away. He's still talking about different storylines and what to look forward to, what to be excited for. One of the players he talked about was Trevor Lawrence, and I cannot wait to see what that young man does out there at Clemson. Earlier this week, I saw that, I believe it was on Twitter, I saw that the NFL season now is less than 100 days away. And those two posts alone got me thinking about how much I miss football. Now, if you feel or if you sense my excitement right now in my voice, that's because the football season brings upon a lot of excitement to me. Over the past few years, I've been going to at least one college football game a year. Normally, growing up, college football wasn't a thing. We would go to after I graduated from high school. High school games would be basically all I went to, unless I was in town. My brother played college ball at a school in Kentucky, and then also he played at Butler University here in Indianapolis. But outside of that, I didn't go to any big time college football games. Indiana University and Purdue University, they're about an hour away from my home. But I just said they're not good. They're not good at football, so I didn't think about going to those games. I didn't go to my first big time college football game until 2014, maybe. I think it was 2014 when Ohio State put a hurt on Wisconsin, beat them. I believe it was 59-0 to win the Big Ten championship to go on and win the national title against Oregon later on, about a month or so after that. But college football, NFL football in general, I miss it. There are a few things that I think about when I think of football and how much I miss it. These words kind of come up and are on the forefront of my mind. Fight songs. Anytime you hear your particular school's fight song, that brings on a certain feel. It brings on a certain emotion, brings on maybe a smile, brings on puts a pep in your step, as you may want to say. Whenever you hear your rival's fight song, it's going to bring on a complete opposite form of emotions. Now, granted, my high school fight song is my college football rival's fight song. So even though I know the words to my high school's fight song, I have to remember that's not the same song that I sang when I was in high school. It means a whole different meaning now because I'm not in high school anymore. But fight songs, man, you hear your fight song, especially on a Saturday afternoon before your team comes on. You get your drink, you get your right snack, you sit there on that couch, or you go to the bar with your buddies, or you get ready to go to that game. You hear that fight song, man, you're ready to go. You're ready to cheer. 3.5. Football, college games are longer than that. 4 hours of cheering, of booing, or whatever you may do at a game. Man, you get ready for it. Fight songs, they mean something. Not only do we think about fight songs, we think about tradition. Those are just a couple things. I got one more, but you think about tradition. Oh my goodness. A lot of families, a lot of players, a lot of fans have traditions. Some of you eat the same thing during every game. Some of you drink the same thing during every game. Some of you sit in the same spot in your house during every single game. And you call it superstitious if you have a new friend over and they sit in your spot. Oh man, you start to get upset. You're like, man, hold on. That's my seat during my game. You got to get up. If they don't understand it or they want to play a joke, things can get a little heated because football, man, that brings on a lot of emotions for you. The football might bring different emotions than any other sport brings for you just because of how important it is in your life. Man, you don't want to be that guy that ruins someone's tradition during a big game. Not just traditions, but then you also have the physicality or the physical nature of football. And my goodness, years ago, ESPN had a segment called Jacked Up. I believe they played it Monday nights during Monday Night Countdown before the Monday Night Football game. And I couldn't wait for it every single night. Now, granted, I didn't get to watch it every single night, but if I did, I missed it. I loved it. You get guys like Ray Lewis. You get guys like Brian Dawkins, John Lynch. You get a guy like Ed Reed just waiting to tee off on a defender. I loved it. I love those hits. I loved it. I remember back when I played football. Now, granted, when I say that I was not a big time football player, I'll say that now. I played in high school and I played in middle school. I think it was 6 years total. I didn't start playing football until I was in 7th grade. And that's a story for another day. But man, I remember. I think it was my junior year with my buddies. Talking about big kids and loving the physical nature of football. One of my buddies got an interception. I was playing defensive tackle at the time. One of my buddies got an interception, and we got a good rush on him. We saw the ball go up. We peeled back, and I believe it was my buddy Alex, and there was another guy with you. I forget who that player was, but we kind of formed a wall, started blocking from my guy, and I saw this defender. I don't know what he was doing, what he was thinking, but he was turning that right way for me. He wasn't quick enough at all because he was coming towards the ball to tackle it, but he wasn't moving that fast. So I got low enough. I had my head on the right side, and plow! That dude, he was gone. He was gone. Had no idea what hit him. After the game, he tried to say it was a cheap hit. I said, man, please, man, that's football. Get on back to your side of the field. And I loved it. I loved every single second of it. Football's the main reason we watch football. The physical nature of football is the main reason we watch football. Think about two-hand. Nobody wants to watch two-hand touch. We play it. Nowadays we play it because we got insurance and we don't want, if we get hurt, we got to pay for those bills. But gosh, I mean, no one wants to watch two-hand touch. No one wants to watch someone play no flag football. I mean, that's boring. We want to see big guys battle in the trenches. We want to see a running back run through that hole and get popped. We want to see X's and O's football where it means something when someone gets hit hard. It means something when someone misses a tackle. It means something when someone gets stopped at the goal line because someone had their head on the right side and bit the ball and caused the fumble. It means we want to watch that. We don't want to see the NFL or other teams or other leagues outlaw physical play. We don't want to see that. We want to see people get hit hard, extremely hard. But man, I can't wait for it. End of August, we get college football season. Right after that, it's the start of the NFL season, and man, it's going to be a fun time this year. I want to thank everyone for listening to another episode of the Jay Stevens Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review. Make sure when your rating is 5 stars, anything less than 5 stars is not acceptable. You can find me on Twitter at Dr_J25. Once again, that is at Dr_JAY, the number 2 and the number 5. You can also email the show at jstevenspod@gmail.com. Once again, that is jstevenspod@gmail.com. Send your questions, your feedback. If you have any topic ideas, send those my way as well. You never know, your idea may hit the show. And then also this coming Tuesday, you guys have heard me talk about my mom in episode 1. This coming Tuesday, my mom is having knee replacement surgery, and I would appreciate it if everyone would just take a moment to say a prayer for her throughout this time. I believe that I know she's in good hands. The doctors are going to take care of her throughout this time. Once again, this is the Jay Stevens Pod, episode 4. I'll see you next time.